First Citizens National Poetry Slam is powered by Boca's Litfest, TTT Limited, and is sponsored by First Citizens. We put you first. Welcome to the First Citizens National Poetry Slam, powered by First Citizens, Boca's Litfest, and TTT. Listen, this is the 9th year of this competition. This year is a little bit different. No live audience, yet we started off with 75 and we're down to 19 in our semi-finals. This is the first semi-final round, so you're going to see 9 of the best grace this stage on TTT. We're urging you on social media to share, like, and show solidarity for your favorite poets. My name is Hans Devines, and trust me, I am excited about what is going to happen when the poets grace this stage, because at the end of the process, one of them is going home with $50,000. We also want to remind you that the top 3 poets are all going home with cash prizes. The theme this year, very appropriate given our circumstance. Poetry is resilience. Welcome to the First Citizens National Poetry Slam 2021. Let's meet our judges. Artist Marge Blackman. Communications expert Denise Deming. Artist and teacher Ariel John. Comedian Kwame Weeks. And the president of the Circle of Poets, Nicholas Sosa. The scoring criteria this year includes voice and articulation, 5 points. Stage presence, 5 points. Dramatic appropriateness, 5 points. Literary devices, 5 points. Use of language, 5 points. And continuity, 5 points. Poets will be penalized if they exceed their time, with 1 point for every 10 seconds exceeded. We congratulate all our poets for making it to this final 19. Let's get it started with our first poet hailing from Maloney. He's back after a 5-year hiatus from the First Citizens National Poetry Slam. And this year he says he's gonna win. Put your hands together at home for Deron Sandy.
Whereas his geographicals make him a threat, whereas a weed block anchors his spirit, whereas his ambition is soaked up by a newspaper headline, whereas his children's generational wealth is on the breadline, whereas history has strangled his dreams, albeit by Poplar Tree or Massa Hand or Maritime Massacre, whereas he still wears the shoes and socks of his father, therefore soon to be blue in a box and a tux, just like his father, whereas nicknames are derived from some unknown arithmetic system, as cited in the following examples: 1 teeth, 2 face, 3 Glock, 4 lives, 5E, 6 outside, whereas thoughts of being a lawyer quickly turns into needing a lawyer, whereas his coded language is detrimental to English A, as cited in the following examples: Wa am dog, O soldier, wa z the scene, whereas poverty makes love to illiteracy to keep fatherless children hot in the night until they float up from a pissy mattress with a fever and take flight to the warlord who never pauses for age or how show, whereas is the summer intelligence, then ghetto jargon fit. The soldier who string that scene together clearly under the hoof of being aloof. Because where he only seen scorn, we in the ghetto already see proof of concept that inside every whereas, I swear there is success, whereas our literacy is polished by memory of being broke. Thus when we learn, I swear it's through analytical eyes having already scoped the outcome if we end up fully done up, whereas zest music already summed that up. I swear that is the ghetto's poetry, evidenced by K. Lyon, the ghetto Shakespeare, ready to share the ghetto story, whereas the weed block is a university for muse. I swear the children there using the Wi-Fi for online school, whereas poverty makes love to willpower at midnight, evidenced by the Form 4 youth spotty mattress. It untouched, it dry, because he about to defy everywhere as every weird hand willing to walk a child into a duppy, whereas condescending eyes on single mothers are doubly blind. I swear they missed 2 miracles, the first 9 months and then the full 9 yards to raise one ghetto child, whereas here, every day, history is being altered. I swear the ghetto is the ideal setting to conquer, as where the boy basketball brothers call home. I swear Trevlon BMX taught Maloney to the world, as where the majority are citizens in an honest 8 to 4. I swear the twins here in semis and this poet hand on the crown, we hereby declare the ghetto as ideal for progressing children of extra melanin, relentless in respect to overcoming. I swear these things as truth, whereas we stand as proud ghetto youths.
So people, yes, we are here with the First Citizens National Poetry Slam. I'm your host, Taddy Boom Harbinger Vibes, man behind the scene. And we are here with the performance poet who just came off, Mr. Darren Sandy. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah.
Nice. So I see that you've been away for a while, and how was the preparation for you?
I had to put in the work. I had to put in the hours every single day, just getting back your performance legs. It was important for me, and now being able to execute today, I feel good about that.
Nice. So I heard your piece and you was talking about being a ghetto youth, resilience, surviving. So my question to you is this, right? If there was a whole apocalypse, everything wipe out, what survival skills do you have as a ghetto youth to make it beyond the apocalypse?
Well, where people see score and we see success. So, anything falling apart, you see how ghetto youths will build back everything now.
People heard it here, yeah? The survivalist, the ghetto youth, the performance poet, Mr. Darren Sandy.
Whereas Darren Sandy signaling his return to the First Citizens National Poetry Slam here on TTT. You all out there, like, share, be part of the experience this year inside the First Citizens National Poetry Slam. We now go into our second competitor. Now, the last time he competed was in 2017. In 2016, though, he made it to the final. Since then, he has been president of the University of the West Indies Student Guild and also reached the finals of the Chutney Soca Monarch. He says he's from the Caribbean. He wants you to know that his goal in life is just to be happy. Put your hands together at home for Darian Theatrics Narayan.
Night falls like the shadow of a thief. 17 breaths resting heavily against the hull as the strict waters pound against the stern. Cramped below covers, the anticipation burns, playing a game of how low they can go while the Coast Guard plays I Spy. But this ain't no playground. It's a battlefield. As the blades of the motor slice through the deep blue, the waters fought back with waves as high as the hopes that the displaced had for a better life. 15-year-old Maria and her brother and 15 other blank faces connected by a thread of despair as their boat tossed like souls from a ship as our ancestors from 3 centuries ago look on from the ocean bed below. Maria closes her eyes, thinking that this is just a scene from a horror and the worst will soon be over. She begins to whisper the Our Father, Padre nuestro, que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Whoosh! Splash! A whole life flipped upside down underwater. For a moment, her eyes cement. As she begins to shiver, she pretends that this is just a sequence from a thriller, but no one can hear your voice when you're drowning. A saving hand reaches down and pulls her up out of the water. It's her brother, Jose. Nadas, ahora, swim. Now, his pruny fingers pointing to the shore mere meters away. A lifetime away. As Maria's mind repeats, Padre nuestro, que estás en el cielo, our Father who art in heaven. This will not be her story's end. As she became a shark, the shore, her prey, she prayed, and after 20 minutes and a few last tired strokes, she rose to her feet on the shores of the red, white, and black where she would seek asylum. Tears of relief fill her eyes. As she turns to hug her brother, a celebration dies. No one in sight. Frantically, her eyes begin to surf the sea, intense. She screams his name and the waters scream back then. Deafening silence. But her screams did not go unheard. You see, on this beach, it had predators guised in sheep's clothing. Fresh meat for the butcher, the vultures singing as a towering figure emerges from the bushes behind her to comfort her, but his humanitarian aid seeming empty of humanity. Uncertainty, numb from the loss of her brother, she left in that unmarked van with that stranger, and the lights all shone red. Traffic. Yesterday made it 6 months since she started working for her beach predator. He promised to protect her. Is that why a different man lays with her every hour? And now, trauma throws screams like jagged rocks at her head. A minor, but she's in the major leagues now. Once a lover of baseball, but now every night she's battered. No opportunity to strike out as a different adult monster steals her first, second, and third base. Copa, Hallam, Double Palm, Hyatt. It may be a different room, but it's all the same face. Powerless, scared, hurt, confused, numb. No asylum in her own mind. Her spirit seeking refuge. Her body in unrest. Her identity Venny. Nameless. In another life, she's you. In another life, she's me. In another life, she's us. In Myanmar, South Sudan, Syria, it doesn't matter. All with the same face of Maria just trying to cross a border. In fact, a stone's throw away from Cedrus is our kindergarten, the Orinoco River. Padre nuestro, que estás en el cielo, ¿estás aquí?
Mr. Theatrics, Darian Norine. It's a pleasure having you here, sir. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm cool, like ice.
Right, so just exit. Cool like ice, big up you. So he just exit stage left and he's here now with me behind the scenes. So I heard that you went up for Chutney Sokamona.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. That was lovely earlier this year.
And now you're for the First Citizens Poetry Slam.
I actually come out of retirement for this.
So you're trying to win the money by any means because COVID serious.
Not Taddy, I think it's more, and you should know this as well, as a life as an artist, as a performer, not having the avenue to be able to perform and thing. I think like you would see a lot of artists now coming back out because people don't understand how bad it is for your mental health as an artist not to be able to hit a stage. Yeah? So that's why any opportunity I get jumping out on the stage is more about that for me.
We capitalize, and I can appreciate that by any means necessary. As a poet, as a performer, as an entertainer, you yearn for the stage, and we saw Darian's yearning on the stage here tonight. He left it there as he spoke about the immigrant and refugee situation in Trinidad and Tobago. Darian, thank you very much for being here. It's a blessing always, bro. Goodness.
Darian Theatrics Narine. Now listen, no in studio or live audience. You at home, you all are the live audience. So like, share, comment, show the poets the love this year because they need it from you. Our next poet, this is only his second year competing in the First Citizens National Poetry Slam. So we're going to show some serious love for our brother from Maloney. Put your hands together for Tariq B.
And now for a look at your weekly weather report. Sunrise kicks in tomorrow morning at 6:28 a.m. and sunset is expected at 6:03 in the evening. During this time, we are expecting mostly hot and sunny days to be interrupted by heavy prayers from me, a praying grandmother that covers my grandson in the land of heat and uncertainty. I am pleading with you. Please don't go outside with umbrellas. For no amount of shelter could cover the blessings that comes from those that use prayers as their daily dose of morning sunshine on Saturday. Look out for some daytime heat with a mixture of scriptures, because it's around that time some boys them feel the need to switch like the weather. So though my grandson walks through the valley and shadow of uncertain weather, he knows his guardian angel sits at home with a rosary wrapped around the hands. Me, a praying grandmother who knows the in, out, and realm of hell, the perfect example of saint and serpent. I go beyond my age to provide for those that tend to forget that all people is the closest thing to God himself. So when anointment comes in the form of a wrinkled heart slap, just know we will be experiencing periods of sunshine and cloudiness. It's going to be relatively warm for those that try to hamper with the grandchild of a warrior. My tongue, the sniper to life that brings it down to dust. My back, the shield of every child, grandchild, and great-grand. Me, the grandmother, the witch of all witches. The way I know the spells and remedies to provide a lifetime of food to my family. So my grandson belly, it never goes undone, it never empty, because breaking bread at midnight is a ritual that never once passes these hands. Black eyed peas around the house, that is the new definition for prosperity. So when you ask me, how come he's still standing after going through so much, just know his prettier face is front on the center of a hardback TV, covered with the smoke from a white candle and my favorite book. He never missed one day a Sunday TV prayers, yet his blessings comes in abundance. His safety comes from the blood of my palms, from my hands, and Psalms 91. So though he dwelleth in the sacred place at the most high, he shall abide under the shadow of me. His granny that tear pieces as she self and plaster it on she children, and yet still I roll like a ball of fire, and I can't be out. So if a day come face to face with this one, just know this is the folklore character your mother pray for you not to encounter. No amount of weapons formed shall prosper, because it's kinda hard to kill something that's been living and knows the recipe of living. I am the sleep paralysis demon for some boys that get bored and go demon hunting. Could twist your foot and make you walk backwards with a tongue and many tongues. My prayers goes beyond any man and handmade gun. I am every elderly woman that left herself undone, took it upon themselves to let go and turn protectors. I'm the one you forget to tend to love the most.
So we are here with Mr. Tariq Botorie, one of two, right? People are not seen double, it's not a trick. Yeah, it's a real twin, right? You did a piece on grandmothers. Where did that come from?
Mainly lack of consideration shown towards grandmothers, and we tend to take for granted the traditional aspects they go through to ensure the safety of grandsons, especially. So my piece really centered on that.
All right, good vibes. I think at this point I would like to take this opportunity to say, Granny, I love you very much. Amabel, Jardine, blessings and big up yourself, girl. I love you, respect. Tariq, all the best, bro. Yeah.
I see the grannies clapping right now. Somebody's grandmother is off of her chair right now. I'm seeing you. Yes? Give it up once more for Tariq B. Our next poet, though, falls into the Poetry is Resilience theme, because during this time, she took time to do some charitable work for people in her area. She hails all the way from Guayari, and she says her theme is to disturb the comforted and comfort the disturbed. Please put your hands together for Zakia the Griot Gill.
Now, if this supposed to be the woke generation, y'all better leave me, let me sleep like I was born a narcoleptic. Because these words that I just read off me's memes made the Trinbago in me shook like an epileptic. That's why I come to tongue to tell you there is nothing appeasing about being unpatriotic, red, white, and black, nothing. Or is it? We have such deep-seated issues that we drunk it all with white oak, so we take everything as a joke. Or maybe we just overdose on melatonin, so we rarely sleepwalking. So we pantomime our pain like Pinocchio all over our timeline just because we have an internet connection. We parade our sins like Saga Boy and Tantan, just a bunch of overgrown puppets. Y'all just stop it. Because if you want to believe you are not real, not me. I was made out of blood, bones, and doubles, not plasticine. So you can't roll me and mold me into this Trinbago. It's not a real place ideology. What is the real scene? UNC. We are no longer divided by the Caribbean Sea, but a brand of vaccine. And me, I may have the eyesight of a 50-year-old with diabetes that like to sleep, but it's plain to see that low-key, you are a racist and it reeks. All by the words that you speak, all by the words that you tweet. I wish we can collectively just get tired of all this nonsense and just go vegan for a week to eliminate all this Trinidad versus Tobago beef. Hire butcher to eradicate this mad tongue disease. So until then, wake me up when we no longer suffer from this thing called Adventist amnesia. Because we are the only people in the world I know complain for 7 days, then we forget. Then we go back to being you and I. My people, open up your eyes and realize we are having a very bad allergic reaction to this word called unity. And no amount of antihistamine could ever be reproduced to reduce the swelling in these wounds. When will we stop? When we fall into anaphylactic shock, or maybe we just drowsy off Allegra D. So we claim we walk when we really sleepwalking. Maybe I need to give y'all a shutter punching so y'all could hear the spirits calling, encouraging us to be better human being. Or maybe I need to give you a dose of whatever Martin Luther King had the same night he had a dream, so we could be transported to a better reality. Because this right here could never be my sweet TNT. I thought I was from a place where every creed and race have an equal space, where the integrity of a man was more stronger than a cedar tree. But these armchair theorists who sung more like terrorists when they throw more shade than the immortal tree and label it poetry, but all they do is destroy my country more than they help build it, aggressively punching away at keys, pseudo power, no real cause and effect, just a severe case, a couple tunnel, your vibes just sour. Umbre, should I listen to your mother? If you have nothing good to say, should I just spit? And if Trinbago is not a real place, then revoke his citizenship and just split, because Rienzi, Daga, Butler, they all didn't suffer for us to be batching our country like this, and all these things that you wish, if it were to come to pass, is all the way behind to catch, because it's here we have to live. Now, if this supposed to be the woke generation, y'all leave me, let me sleep. Then polish my idiosyncrasies as chic all over your timeline. But you need to understand bad vibes is never my size. That's why I will sleep naked until being patriotic comes in style.
So we are here with Ms. Zakia Gill, coming all the way out of the Southland. How far?
Guaya.
Big up Guaya, big up Guaya. So the first Citizens National Poetry Slam has reached, right? So your piece was about?
Keyboard warriors, yeah.
Girl, trust me. And everybody being in a recluse, being inside, you had a lot of those. Yeah, so basically you being back here on the microphone is what for you?
Gratitude after what we've been through with COVID and still going through. I take nothing for granted right now. So just gratefulness, nothing but gratefulness.
People in what he's saying, ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft. And here we are filled with gratitude. Thank you very much, Zakia. All the best moving forward.
Welcome back to the First Citizens National Poetry Slam semi-final round number 1. We want to remind you, next week Sunday, we're going to have semi-final round 2. We also want to say thank you again to our sponsors, First Citizens, TTT Limited, and Bocas Lit Fest. Now, if you've just joined us, you've missed some very talented poets. The next one we're going to bring on is just as talented. This is his 3rd time competing, although he's never made it to the finals. But he hopes to change that this year. Please show some love and put your hands together at home for Ronaldo Muhammad.
They say nothing grows in this city except piles of bodies, sounds of sirens screaming at Friday morning, mothers screaming at suns to rise and shine. Yeah, suns rise and shine in Jordans and gold chains they hung from, pulled to gallows, propped up by puppeteer politicians. Nothing grows here. This neighborhood is a tomb, womb full of premature death, miscarried youth. On this block of absentee father figures, how do these sons figure out how to inherit light? Do they miss the mark like Icarus in flight? Boys been bright since school days, but pinned like Prometheus, shackled to a nightmare. Poverty in this ramshackle city been here like a murder of crows. Lord knows their livings are pecked at daily, bill after bill after bill. How do they build themselves out of these hollows? Some sit still, staring into this crawling abyss, scheming for the polymar. What else to do when rent due? When the fridge are nothing new and taxes rising higher and higher and you can't get higher. Boys become block-headed. Like, boy, where you heading? Like, boy, where your head is? All he want to do is get ahead, reach the top. But the air here can't take him nowhere. The is full of gunpowder and vice. In the underworld, men carry ice in their veins. Men are iced out and vain. But the men here aren't really men. They are lost boys, enraptured by the shine of chrome and the balloons never blooming, because here, clocks move in reverse when the gun cock. The block is never land. Here, these men are like Peter Pan, would get hooked to the block before they reach manhood and remain that age forever. Have they ever heard of alternate worlds where they never die? Where the dead and dying aspire towards skies full of sunrises? Where picnic don't need to carry a cold metal piece to have piece of the pie? Do they know of alternate worlds where sun shine and grow like roses bursting through concrete? Ode to the rose. Ode to those who rose through difficult circumstances. Ode to the big brother, breadwinner, father deceased, mother overseas, 4 mouths to feed, and every day he's seized by the same need. Survival measures the breadth between the here where he lives and the nowhere of those now absent knows. It's just a millimeter away from your nose, so he buckled down. Rather pull bull on a weekend and face the gore from bull-headed men. He knows life like the last bread and condensed milk. Hard, but even that can't take away life's sweetness. I've had visions of alternate worlds where our sons grow into the everything they're supposed to be. In this alternate world, our sons no longer die. They rise from the valley of the shadow of death, from furrows in cities harrowed by war. They rise toward the glimmer of a better tomorrow. In the twilight of a ramshackle city that shackles ambitions to fear, they reach from nightmares into dreams breaking over the horizon at dawn. They rise like flowers growing wild and defiant from fallow ground. They bloom, boom through cracks on cold collar street corners, exploding with life. They rise like embers in the aftermath, refusing to die. They rise, they rise, they rise. Well, some rise.
So, yet again, people, it's your boy Taddy Boom, First Citizens National Poetry Slam, and now I am here with Ronaldo Muhammad. You talk about crime, you talk about people getting pushed to the borderline. Where that piece came from?
It was inspired by different situations that I saw, that I witnessed. Seeing fellas I went to school with get pushed in that lifestyle. Yeah, that's basically where the inspiration came from.
I feel you on that one. Lovely. So it's real life inspiration. Meet the microphone. So here, there's a quick question I have for you, right? If you could go back in time, you get a time machine to change one thing, or go to the future and see what happens, what would you do?
If I had to choose between the two, I'd probably, I don't know, I don't think it may be feasible to go back in the past, because I feel like everything that I've been through in my life has made me the person that I am today. And, I wouldn't change myself for anything, but I don't know, maybe go in the future and just take a sneak peek and see, what's in store, you never know, so I could make the right decisions now, I guess so, yeah.
Lovely. So hopefully we'll see if $50,000 is in Ronaldo's future.
Ronaldo Mohammed, they rise, fitting in nicely to this year's theme. Poetry is resilience. Be resilient. Our next performer is a theatre performer. You can see her in the Carrie comedy series, and she's no stranger to the stage generally, but this is her first time gracing the First Citizens National Poetry Slam stage. Please put your hands together and show some love at home for Harmony Farrell.
I will honor my parents, my teachers, my leaders, and my elders, and those in authority. But let's talk about when those in authority don't honor me, neither the service to their God or their country, when they throw bullets and hide their hands like a smart man playing roomie. Director, run the clip, let we see. Or where you blow it up big like the blimp, when the boys in blue beating boys on the beatum like barbarians with baton till they black and blue. And we wonder why they kick floodwater when the tides are turned. It's clear as day, like in 1080p, everybody done see. Let's talk about when those in authority don't honor me. Noel Diamond, don't honor me. Joel Jacobs, don't honor me. Israel Clinton, don't honor me. Playing judge, executioner, and jury. 6 hands, full mast in the air where they can see. Yet they blaze 3 men like Good Friday Boboli. As if it's not enough to die on your birthday. As if it's not enough to be robbed of human dignity, to have your body dragged through the street like Lagahu pulling chain after you begged for your life in vain. They catch that on CCTV. Everybody done see, but not enough to put a black square on their IG, because you see what we see to be police brutality is only when it comes across on NBC. When it reach TTT, that good for we is so we done see. Who's going to protect and serve me if I'm a woman with no weapon in my possession but a fist in the air for my brethren killed in cold blood? And you dish me out the same fate, taking 2 lives with 1 bullet. Onella Greaves, say her name and show me who's the one to blame. Yeah, we done see plenty Derek Chauvins walking free right here in sweet TNT. For sure, we wish we could unsee the done-see head behavior for which the price to pay is shells spent on the lives of civilians. This crap smells like spent shells paid for with taxpayers' money, while teachers scrunt for books and desks to put some sense in their head so they might see the job as more than just shooting man dead. Perhaps it might take some lessons in English B to reinforce that the force in police force ought not to be taken so literally. Maybe we're kind of glad that we did not done see how not 1 but 2 suspects get taken into custody and leave through the back door of the mortuary. Thanks, but no thanks. No justice for Andrea Barrett family. But let's talk about one that we did done see. When they spot a resident of the street and their first move is to clown him, have him downing, punching like some sort of sick hazing ritual. Yeah, we done see and hear as they snare and jeer and skin teeth with no grin, as if to say, he, look at me. I can take advantage of the downtrodden. And when they kick down the SS door, well, it's pure comedy to see them caught red-handed, pants down, and jockey full of poor people money. I could say that one was funny on the Lord's behalf. After all, thief from thief does make God laugh. When time come to question now, everybody turn like Shaggy. turn to the boss and say it wasn't me. Some might be honest and remix the Mali. I shot the plaintiff, but I swear it was in self-defense. These are the worst of the worst, or so we thought. Imagine for what they don't report. Because truth be told, this ain't even begin to scratch the surface of what the cameras don't catch. So who's going to take accountability for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of my country? I hope and pray for the day that I could see when those in authority would honor me.
So I have a quick question. You love Trinidad and Tobago, yeah?
Absolutely.
But let's say push come to shove, something crazy happens and you want to flee this lovely, lovely country of Trinidad and Tobago. What other country can you see yourself living in?
I could see myself living in the Netherlands.
Why though?
I just picture myself being able to ride my bike through Amsterdam.
Big up you. I feel it could be for other substances, but no problem. People, Harmony Farrell, thank you for being here with us.
Harmony Farrell from San Fernando stamping her name on the First Citizens National Poetry Slam stage. This is the first semi-final. And our next competitor, he hails from Arima and he's no stranger to the stage at all. However, last year, he decided to take a break because guess what? A lot of people don't know this, but these competitions weigh heavy on the participants. But he's here this year, ready to make a difference, ready to show you all what he's about. Show some love for Marcus Millet.
It's easy to breathe and easier to see everything. I could hear, smell, taste, and feel vividly. On any given day of the week, alarm tone vibrate like a shake to wake you out your sleep. Eyelids heavy, glued together with yampy, laboring to unstick from each other. Your thumb on snooze. And in the blink of an eye, alarm tone vibrate like a shake to wake you out your sleep. Work today, boy. In this weather, raindrops sung in big soul like big stone, banging on the roof you swear is hail. Goosebumps, feeling like breeze blowing inside your house. Don't have to look outside to know cumulonimbus clouds, cause the place cold and you're barely wearing clothes. Triceps froze, you're trembling. The sky resembling 5 a.m. sun. It dark like eerie sound. I am bound to go to work today, nah? Yeah, up here flood. Water the color of your khaki pants. Can't leave home cause no car can pass. Meanwhile, you inside drier than my DMs with your phone in your hand. Under covers, cover up. Only leaving bed for food and to use the bathroom today. Yes, today. Not yesterday. Yesterday was hard work. Could see you tomorrow you're home today. Cause no amount of money could buy time or peace of mind. Rather spend the day scrolling through the vibes on the timeline. I just hear it through the grapevine. Girl, mad. Man, it's trash. Pause. They shall really get married in a way. And I say you laugh at everything you think funny. Until you just randomly say, I told you I'm having that kind of day. Life just pause. I know how it feels when you have no appetite to fight for inspiration and you can't taste motivation, when you can no longer bite the bullet and fight depression because you're at war and the only weapons that have are the ones prospering against you. You feel like you're underwater trying to breathe and it burns when you open your eyes to see that we are products of what we see and everything easy to see. Apart from a part, you seek that hides beneath what reveals when you part a sea of doubt, of inadequacy, of low self-esteem. It's easy to see how easy triggers squeeze when warned without warning or warranty. When you're alone with a mental blueprint of your flaws in a house, missing appliances, struggling to acquire them just to feel completed, as though a house is now a home without the dining room set you wanted. Because you want it, a reality directly proportionate to the lives and lies you like to see online.
mind, you want it. Goals, travel and see the world. Freedom, time, money, we spend our lives chasing after what we want until we can no longer. You are picture perfect, but breaking your frame to look at the other pictures. Portray your portrait. Precise selection of chaos and order. Border broader than borderlines between boredom and self-hate. Myself loves self-love. Love for self should be the easiest thing to see. Even for a blind man like me, with eyes only in imagination, whenever I hear, smell, taste, and feel.
So we are here. If you've watched Poetry Slam before, you would know this guy, Marcus Millet. We good?
Yeah.
So from one Rasta to the next Rasta, I know he's a man of higher understanding. Do you see the COVID-19 pandemic as a blessing or a curse?
Strictly a blessing, really and truly. And that is the short answer for it.
Boy, people only blessings over here. So, all blessings and positivity to you in the finals moving forward if you make it. Yeah, brethren? Goodness.
Marcus Millet said he will deliver with precision this year. You be the judge of that. Tell us in the comments online or send your messages. Let us know how you feel. We're now going on to our final competitor. Last year, she made it to the finals and it was her first time on the First Citizens National Poetry Slam stage. Let's see if she can do it again in 2021. Show some love for Nia Thompson.
Oh, yeah. I just see a cockroach. I stamp it. It dead. But why does tiny island have so much a pest? One or two, you could set up for the kill. Bop, big on a slap trap to fill, but when they numerous, like zombie stories on a moonless night is fret, cause they bring disease and death is so I afraid dengue. One time I sit down in a cloud of cockset, long infection like COVID, still can't breathe good, yet cause what kills them hurts us. The Ministry of Health really says it best after they spray with harmful pesticides. Look, people, stop breeding the mosquitoes if you don't want to die. But it have real tiny mammals and insects out there. How one set is a pet and the other are afraid. Could the aesthetics of the fur contribute, or we just don't like the way they move?